Discuss about the circulatory system. When we speak about circulatory system, the main thing we get in our minds is the heart. So the circulatory system of the humans. Having learned about the main parts of the circulatory system, components of blood, blood groups, blood pressure, and the ways of keeping the heart healthy, you will know understanding in more detail about the heart spacing another system, namely the lymphatic system. So in this chapter we will learn about not only about the heart and blood groups, blood pressure, but also we know about this new system known as lymphatic system. So let us discuss about the structure of the heart. It is very important. So let's see this. So heart is a muscular pumping organ. So heart is muscular pumping organ. Main point. The adult human heart is about the size of the closed fist. Closed fist is nothing but when you close your hand, then the size which appears is the size of your heart. It is located in the chest cavity slightly towards the left side. So heart is present slightly towards the left side. Okay, enclosed in a double-walled sac called pericardium. So it is protected by pericardium. A pericardial fluid is present. So a pericardial fluid is present for which it present between the heart and also the pericardium. So heart wall and pericardium middle we are having a pericardial fluid. So this fluid, why this fluid is present? Because it protects from the heart from the shocks and jerks during contraction. So in heart we have contraction and relaxation. So during contraction, heart may feel like some of the shocks or jerks. When heart suddenly listens to any of the accidents or any of the situations, then this fluid will be protected. The heart is made up of muscle cells called cardiac muscle fibers. So heart is made up of specially cells, that is cardiac muscle fibers. These muscle cells work tirelessly throughout the life. If they stop working, then person couldn't be alive. So the chapter of the person has been completed. So let us see the diagrammatic representation of the heart. This is the external view, means how we can see externally outside. Internal structure of the heart means that is internal, how when we cut the heart into two pieces in middle, then how the structure will be there. So this is the difference. So let us see. Here the upper part is known as the aorta. Okay, aorta. So this is the left side and this is the right side. So left side, let us divide this into two parts like this. So left side we have upper part known as the auricle and lower part known as the ventricle. Point to be noticed. Okay, and same like left side we also having the right side, right side auricle and right side ventricle. Okay, here we are having the blue color one. This is known as the vena cava, inferior vena cava. We are having two vena cavas, that is inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. Upper one known as superior vena cava and lower one known as the inferior vena cava. Okay, let's see now the internal structure of the human heart. So when we cut the external view part of that heart into the slice, then we can see this diagrammatic representation. Okay, here the colors indicating red and blue. The red indicates the oxygenated blood and the blue indicates deoxygenated blood. So oxygenated blood means you already know, means it contains O2 percentage more and CO2 percentage less, whereas deoxygenated O2 percentage less and CO2, that is carbon dioxide percentage, is high. So the pulmonary artery, as we discussed it before, this is right side and this is left side. Let me clear this for your better understanding. I'll write more clearly now. Okay, oxygenated blood means O2 more and CO2 less. Deoxygenated O2 less, CO2 more. Okay, now this is the right part and this is the left part as we discussed before. So left atrium, the upper part known as left atrium and the lower part left ventricle. Like that, this side also right ventricle and left atrium. Okay, middle we are having some gap and this is known as the bicuspid valve, and they are also tricuspid valve because 3 openings. Here it is tricuspid valve, and pulmonic valve is present here between tricuspid and bicuspid, and there are pulmonary veins, that is it takes the blood from the right lung. Okay, and pulmonary artery and pulmonary veins. From this diagram we can easily understand that oxygenated blood can be carried by veins and deoxygenated blood by arteries. Pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Okay, so let us assume this as the heart. 4 parts we are having. Okay, so the upper 2 chambers constitute the right and left auricle. So this is right auricle and this is left auricle or atria. We can also call auricles as atria also. Single one we known as the atrium, and if you mention 2 of those, then we call as auricles. And the lower 2 chambers from the right and left ventricles. So this is down ones known as ventricles, naming as right and left. So the auricles which are present upwards receive the chambers, or they receive blood from different parts of the body. These are smaller than ventricles and have thin walls. So we can say that atrias which are present, so they bring blood, they collect blood from upper parts of the body, that is from head, that is from eyes, nose, ears and hands. So it takes blood, collect blood and gives to the ventricles for deoxygenated blood to pure it to the oxygenated. So these are the auricles are the receiving chambers, and they receive blood from different body parts. So they are smaller than ventricles. So auricles are smaller, whereas veins are larger. Okay, the ventricles on other hand are distributing chambers. So what these veins or ventricles will do means, the blood which was collected will be oxygenated and distributed to other parts of the body. Okay, as they pump blood into lungs and blood vessels that distribute the blood to all parts of the body. So ventricles are larger than auricles. So point to be noticed is ventricles are larger than the auricles, and their walls are thick, elastic and muscular. So how these walls have been composed of? Because it is thick, elastic. Thick means this is thin. Thick means like this it will be so much of space between them. Thick. These are veins. As to efficiently pump blood from the heart to different parts of the body. Okay. The right and left sides are separated by a membrane called septum. So here right and left are separated by a called septum. So middle it is divided by septum. Okay, point to be noticed. so that blood on the right side never mixes the blood onto the left side. So right side blood cannot be mixed to the left side of the blood. The left auricle opens. The left auricle opens into left ventricle by a left auriculoventricular aperture. Okay. Now let us discuss by seeing this picture. Okay, let us see. Left auricle opens into left ventricle. Left. Here this is left auricle. Opens into the left ventricle. This is ventricle. This is auricle. So how it opens? By division of the septum known as auriculoventricular septum. Okay, auriculoventricular aperture. Similarly, the right auricle opens into the right ventricle through the right auriculoventricular apparatus. So right and left cannot be mixed. So we can also get a doubt that blood which is there can be mixed. So that purified blood and unpurified blood can be mixed easily. So this can be done by using auriculoventricular aperture and right auriculoventricular aperture. Let us clear these all. Then we'll get some space for writing here. Okay. So let us discuss the valves that present in the heart. There are 4 types of valves that present in the heart. First one is tricuspid valve, second bicuspid, and third aortic semilineal valve, and fourth one is pulmonary semilineal valve. So the tricuspid valve, before we have seen in the picture, that is tricuspid and bicuspid valves. So let us discuss in detail. So which guards the opening between the right auricle and the right ventricle. So it opens and guards between the right auricle and the right ventricle. So tricuspid valve is also known as is also called as it has 3 cups. So it has 3 cups and it is specially known as the tricuspid valve. So when we compare the tricuspid to the bicuspid, it has two cups. So which guards the opening between the left auricular and the left ventricle. So tricuspid means we need to remember as right side. That is right auricle and right ventricle. And bicuspid means left auricle and left ventricle. Okay. Next, third one, aortic semilunar valves. It is located at the point of origin of aorta from the left ventricle and are 3 in numbers. So here we have seen, see here the location of the aorta. Here the location of the aorta. Aorta. Here it is located. That's what he has given. Okay. So aorta semilunar valves. Here it is present. It is located at the point of origin of aorta from the left ventricle and the 3 in numbers. So these are 3 in numbers. Next, the last one is pulmonary semilunar valve. It is located at the opening of the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery and there are 3 in number. Here also 3 in number and here also 3 in number. The main difference of aortic semilunar valve and the pulmonary is the opening and the origin, point of origin. So here it is the origin of aorta from the left ventricle. Let us remove this so that you can understand. Now I will highlight that thing. located at the point of origin of aorta from the left ventricle. Here located the opening of the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery. Main point to remember. So I have highlighted that. Next thing. The valves permit the flow of blood in one direction only, from the auricle to the ventricle. So flow of blood that can be done through auricle to ventricle and not in the reverse direction, preventing backward flow of blood. So blood moves front but not to the backward. Point to be noticed. This is the point it has given and this is the explanation. Okay, let us look about the pacemaker or heartbeat regulator. This pacemaker also known as sinoatrial node, that is SAN. So please make sure to remember the names of the different names of the pacemaker. Okay, the heart is a muscular organ, yeah, we know, and it is made up of specialized cardiac cells, muscles. Yes, thus muscles show continuous contraction relaxation. If there is no continuous contraction and relaxation, then it is die and without any rest through the lifetime of a person. Contraction relaxation are result of an electrical impulse which originates in a mode called sinoatrial or SCA node. So here the main point is to remember is the contraction relaxation can be done by the result of electrical impulses it carry. So it carry electrical impulses. That is known as sinoatrial or SCA node. So this is sinoatrial node is situated in the walls of the right atrium. So this is the place that is situated in the right atrium. Okay, and the impulse of the heartbeat starts here. So like lub-dub. So impulse is started where means here only, sinoatrial node. So thus it is also called as the pacemaker of the heart. So sinoatrial node is known as the pacemaker of the heart. This point is highlighted because it is known as the pacemaker. Okay. This is impulses is relayed to the ventricles with the help of special conducting fibers. So the impulses which we are getting from this are relayed to the ventricles with the help of some conducting fibers. That is functioning of this. So sometimes the pacemaker becomes faulty, causing a heart trouble. So in some of the situations this pacemaker cannot perform its work, so causing heart trouble. So an artificial pacemaker is prepared and inserted into the heart. So it may be fixed in the heart of such a person to treat the heart problem. So this is the diagrammatic representation of the pacemaker. Here we connect the valves to the heart. Septum. So septum is a portion of a human heart that separates the two left chambers from the right and of the upper part is called atrial septum. So before also we have learned that septum, it is a part which divides the right and left atrium called atrial septum, while the septum that separates two lobes of a ventricle to the lower part, and it is called as the interventricular septum. If it separates the two, that is left and right atrium, then it is known as the atrial septum, or lower part and the upper part of the ventricle, then it is known as the interventricular septum. So the major blood vessels associated with the heart. So now let us see that what are the blood vessels that are associated with the heart. That is aorta, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, coronary artery, coronary vein, and pulmonary trunk, and superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So let us see in the detail. Aorta. So aorta, it is the main artery which carries the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle to the whole body. These all points you need to remember. So here aorta, that is it carries oxygenated blood only, that also from the left ventricle to the whole body. Okay, next pulmonary artery. The right ventricle forces blood into the pulmonary aorta, which carries the deoxygenated blood to the lungs for purification. So this pulmonary artery, what it do, it forces the blood From where? From right ventricle. It forces the blood into the pulmonary aorta, that is which it carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs for the purification. Okay. And next is pulmonary vein. So the left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the lungs through the veins. So this pulmonary vein, what it do means, it receives the oxygenated blood from the left atrium from the lungs, and from the lungs through the veins. Okay. Next, coronary artery and coronary veins. So arteries carries the blood to the heart muscles, whereas veins collects the blood from the heart muscles and passes through all parts of the body. Okay, point to be noticed here. Arteries, it carries blood to the heart, whereas veins collect blood from the heart muscles to the all parts of the body. It provides superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So the right atrium receives the deoxygenated blood, we know, of the whole body through the superior and inferior vena cava, and the superior vena cava brings deoxygenated blood from the upper parts of the body, that is head and shoulders, while the inferior vena cava brings deoxygenated blood from the lower parts of the body. So this you see clearly and read this statement and you would understand. And pulmonary trunk. Pulmonary trunk is a major blood vessel in the human heart. Yeah, it is a major blood vessel that present in the human heart. It originates from the right ventricle and then branches into the left and right pulmonary arteries. So main point this is to remember. These arteries carry deoxygenated impure blood to the lungs. So this pulmonary trunk also carries deoxygenated blood, that is not purified blood.